Hello, everyone. So I think we're going live. Let's just give this a second to see if it actually works, and we'll find out. I've got it over on my side here too, so I can pay attention to it. All right, so I am not going to talk that softly. How is everyone today? All right, so this is now my second live. So this is our data design lunch and learn series. I'm going to try to do this a bunch. So maybe over time, I'll actually get better at starting and just jumping right in. But that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to jump right in and talk a little bit about annotation and annotation using Canva, why I think you should do it, and why I think not only should you do it with Canva, but you should also consider starting your charts in Flourish, then moving to Canva. And I'll show you how and why through this tutorial. So thank you for joining me. First off, this is all part of my DIY Data Design Action Club. These things are free. I'm going to make these kind of live tutorials. We're going to have some report breakdowns, maybe a few whiteboarding sessions, and some chart adaptations. And we'll be doing that a little bit over time. But, these things are free. But I also have a ton of other things in Action Club. And you can find Action Club by going to my site at freshspectrum.com or by visiting the link that you see on the screen here. The whole goal with Action Club, it's kind of like a mix between, it's a training program that mixes course elements, tutorials, as well as live instruction and coaching and weekly kind of ask me anything sessions with me. And I also design. So if anyone needs someone to support them in terms of building data dashboards, online interactive reports, you can reach out and let me know. If you're joining me here, but you haven't signed up, if you sign up, you go to freshspectrum.com, click on Data Design Lunch and Learn. And from there, you'll get to a page where you can sign up to, I will email all the people on that list every time before I stream, even if it's multiple times a week. If you're on my regular newsletter, you'll only get it when I send out my weekly newsletter. I'll let you know about upcoming events. But if you want to make sure that you know when there's an event going on during a day, because I'm going to do these pretty sporadically, I think as time goes on, sign up here. And that way I can email you when I'm going to go live. All right, so today we're going to talk about chart annotation. And to jump in, I just wanted to find, so this is some economic data. It's change in employees over time. You can see on this chart that there is a pretty huge drop because of COVID in terms of month by month change. And so that big drop is in April of 2020. And it kind of really messed up the charts. Whenever you look at economic data now, you'll find this. So I'm just using this as a backdrop as an example so that we can go ahead and talk through how to go about annotating something like this. So one of the things I want to do, because most of you are not going to start on the Feds or this specific Fred site to download your charts and do all that kind of stuff. You're probably going to start in Excel. So let's go ahead and download the Excel data. And here we go. And I'm going to build a basic bar chart. So I built a basic bar chart, and then I'm just going to save it as an SVG. So right now I'm not teaching you how to build a basic bar chart or a column chart in Excel. You're going to have to kind of go in and find another tutorial for that, which there are probably 1 billion out there. Just look up column charts in Excel. You'll find a ton. But once I go there, I right click on the chart and I save it as an SVG. If I'm working in Canva, I like to have the vector graphic. I found over time, though, that with Excel, the difference between an SVG and a PNG coming out of Excel. You still get fuzzy lines for some reason with the energy, but don't worry too much about it. Either way will work. Usually it's a high enough quality for the kind of graphics you're going to create in Canva regardless. All right, so in Canva, so if you've never created a Canva account, go to canva.com. It's free. You can create a free Canva account. You can use Pro if you want. I use Pro, but it's definitely not required to do any of this. So I created a regular presentation because it's going to give me a good backdrop for this specific chart. So this is a widescreen presentation format. And all I did here was just drop in the SVG that I saved to my computer. I just hovered over and dropped it into Canva. Cool thing about Canva, you can screenshot your computer screen, your desktop, your laptop, and paste in the chart right into Canva too. That'll work. You can right-click, copy on an image that you find on a website, paste it into Canva. So there are all sorts of ways to get images into Canva. I find it pretty intuitive and easy to do. So here we have my basic bar chart that I created in Excel. Now it's in Canva, and we can work on it from here. So one of the things that's really easy with something like Canva, which can be a pain with Excel, is just working with text boxes. So in Canva, it's super simple. We can just drop in a text box anywhere. You can go to the side, hover over where you see text on the left-hand side, click on that. You can go through that way. You can also just hit T on your screen, on your mouse, on your keyboard, and it'll create a little text box there. And you can go ahead and go up to the top of the page and change the font and sizes, all that kind of good stuff. So sometimes, even if I'm designing in another program like Excel or even Tableau or something like that, I might create a chart and not do any kind of chart titles, axis titles, anything like that. Instead, I'll just create the basic chart and bring it into something like Canva, because it makes it really easy to have the like presence, like the thing that we see. I can change everything I want inside Canva. Of course, one of the things that we can do really easily if we click on a text box is that you'll see the little effects button at the top. What we can do there is add some things like a basic background, change up the text a little bit, change the color, transparency, all that kind of stuff. So there's fun little things we can do. The other thing I like to do is we can add arrows and other pieces or icons, other elements that you're not going to get inside of Excel, at least not really easily. It's really simple to just add something silly like this. Again, not a real thing that I would be sharing anywhere, but yeah, it's just kind of fun. But that was in Excel. Sometimes the problem with doing things in Excel, downloading an image, bringing it into something like Canva, is that you kind of lose certain abilities. Like it becomes hard to say you want to change the bar colors, say you want to shrink the chart, say there are all sorts of things that you might want to do inside of Canva once you start editing the chart, that because we started in Excel, it's kind of lost you unless you go back to Excel, you re-download the chart, re-upload it, which is not too bad. But this is one of the reasons I like using Flourish. So Flourish.studio, if you've never used it, it's another free tool, mostly free. It's freemium, but the vast majority of like super cool things to do are totally free. So I went in, so I'm in Flourish, my Flourish account. I just connected my Gmail account and I can click new visualization up at the top. And it's going to give me a different chart to different two templates to choose from. So I'm going to go ahead and click column chart. Now, the thing with Flourish is it's going to start you with basic data. It's going to start you with some sample data and give you a chart right away. So it'll bring you into preview mode. But at the top of the page, you can see preview and data. So these are the two little things you're going to flip back and forth as you design your chart here. I'm going to go ahead and click on the data chart. And here we just have two columns, which is great. This matches the data that we already have that we downloaded from the Fed site. So I'm going to copy that data. And I'm going to go ahead and paste it in here and change the titles at the top. If you see the little A and the little B, and you'll see on the right-hand side, you'll see things like labels and time and values. This is how you're going to construct the chart. So if you need to move things around, shift things around, this is how you would do it. Now, so we set up what gets visualized. We work with the data inside the data tab, but it's really inside the preview tab that we do most of the editing of charts in Flourish. Now, I'm not going to go through and just show you how to use Flourish in this session, because really I just want to talk about annotation. I find Flourish to be a little intuitive, pretty intuitive. You'll find a lot of different, there are a bunch of options, not too many. Sometimes some of the little extra features get hidden in little tabs. So you have to pay attention to that. But usually when you're creating in Flourish, you just add your data, make sure it looks right, and then you're going to work your way down the right side of the page through all the different options until you come up with a chart that you like. So this is my basic column chart that I created in Flourish. Let's go ahead and bring it into Canva. Now, what's cool is that, well, Flourish is actually owned by Canva. So Canva, Flourish employees get paid by Canva, they're owned by Canva. So Canva is directly integrated into Flourish, and Flourish is directly integrated into Canva. On the Flourish page, if you hit export and publish, you'll see add to Canva presentation. So you can click that button and it'll create a Canva document on the other hand, on the other side. I already created a Canva document, so I'm not going to do that right now. Instead, what I'm going to do is inside of Canva, inside of my presentation, you can go over to the side and you'll see the little apps button on the left-hand side and click on Flourish. And that's actually going to bring up all the visuals that you created on the left-hand side of the page. So you'll see the Fed data one. Sometimes it takes a little bit for the thumbnail to come across, that kind of thing. But that's the chart, my most recent chart. And I went ahead and I added it to Canva right here. So there's no downloading and uploading. It's really just clicking the button, chart gets added. There are some cool things already that you'll notice when you do this. One of those things is that I can shrink, expand, make it taller, make it shorter, and the chart is going to adjust based on how I'm changing it. It's essentially like a mobile responsive website because it's embedding the chart into the page, meaning I can stretch, shrink, and it's not going to pixelate, do anything like that, things that would happen easily and quickly in Excel. I can also go back to the Flourish document at any time, change up the colors there, change up any of the things that I've written there, and it will automatically show up here. So I can go back and forth between the Flourish document and the Canva document. They're directly linked. So it makes annotation really easy. It makes it really easy to readjust, change up things on the Canva side. The other cool thing, another cool thing about it is that the chart itself, if you built it in Flourish, is interactive, meaning you can mouse over it. So if you double click on it to interact, and then you move your mouse around, you'll see that we have pop-ups. And these pop-ups tell us exactly what the data is, which is fantastic. It's something that you would have to go back into Excel, look at the data, find ways to label it. But this makes it really easy to do things like label. So because of that, I can go in, I can highlight over my mouse over different areas, and I can spotlight certain pieces of data because it's interactive, meaning it makes it really easy to do something like this, where we just go through and add some very basic kind of annotations from a month and year, that kind of thing. I can spotlight certain data points if I wanted to. do all that fun stuff. We can also do the same thing we did with that Excel chart. We can drop in text boxes, do those kind of things. And that's basically it. We have all the features that we would have in Canva. We get to annotate. We can then share this as a PNG or an SVG if you have, and put it into our reports. We can add different elements. You know, if you wanted to, you can take away the titles and do all that kind of stuff and just have the plain chart, move it around to where you want it exactly, and lay out your entire visual just like that. So it's stuff that would be a pain to do in Excel. It can be done. Lots of this stuff can be done in Excel. It can be done in PowerPoint. I find it so much easier to work with charts like this, creating in Flourish and then annotating in Canva. Another cool thing is if by chance you're creating for a blog post or you're creating for an interactive report, the kinds of stuff that I create often for my clients, you can also download an embeddable version of this chart inside Canva. The neat thing is not only does it embed from Canva, but it retains the interactive embeddable qualities from the original Flourish chart, meaning we can annotate in Canva, but keep it interactive so that you can do mouse overs and those kind of things that you can adjust inside Flourish. These are all things that are super simple using free tools, and that's it. So all of this, and I just saw somebody ask a question. What's funny is that these things are delayed, so you'll see the answer really quickly. But thanks for making a comment. So yeah, there are all sorts of fun little things going back and forth. Sometimes you want to edit in Flourish, sometimes you want to edit in Canva. Either way, the ultimate product, the end product, is going to is going to be exactly what you want it to be. And that's it for today. Again, if you're just joining me, you can go into at freshspectrum.com, go to Data Design Lunch and Learn, and click on that. You can sign up to be I'll let you know whenever I'm going to publish next or do another Lunch and Learn. I'll probably do these quite often. I'm turning the materials back into my workshop, so they're going to become part of Action Club. I'll keep the replays live for probably a week or two after I do any of these Lunch and Learn sessions. After that, they're going to be part of the tutorials list or inside the course materials that you'll find inside Action Club. If you like this kind of material, I definitely invite you to come join me in Action Club. It's super fun. We do show and tells. We talk about our design work. We kind of answer design challenges together. And it's definitely a good time. I think you should join us. And with that said, I'm going to end the stream for today. But if you enjoy it, leave me a comment in YouTube. Tell me what you think. Maybe make requests on future tutorials or other pieces. And stay tuned, because hopefully I'll have a bunch more in the future. So thanks a lot. Again, my name is Chris Lysy, and you can find my work at freshspectrum.com. All right. Bye, everyone.